y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carrie, and today I've got a book haul for you. So before I get to the book haul portion, I do want to do a very small tips and tricks section again today. And for this tip, I want to talk about a bookish related item that is super amazing. If you don't know what this is, you are missing out. So this is the Scotty Peeler, and it is perfect for getting hard stickers off of books. I will link this in the description box below. A lot of the professional people who sell on Amazon and buy a lot of books and sell them, turn around and sell them like on eBay or Amazon, a lot of them use this. I learned about this on YouTube myself. This plus a magic eraser. Magic erasers are what get the really sticky stuff off of books and not mess with the books themselves. I will try to link a video down below, but if not, you can always look up selling books on Amazon, and a lot of them will give you a lot of tips and tricks. I was actually looking it up for myself because I go to thrift stores and stuff all the time. I thought that would be kind of a neat thing. I don't know if I'll ever actually do it, but I learned some really neat tips and tricks by doing it anyway. But this is a tool that everybody who has a collection of books, and especially used books, if you get a lot of them, you absolutely need this little tool. Now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the book haul. I did a thing and I got my reveal book box, but I did not get 4 books this time. I got 6. So I'm super excited to open it. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about the other books that I purchased this month. I am going to go ahead and start with Thrift Books. And I got a couple of books all by Tiffany Rice. So there's The Angel and the Prince, which is the first and second book, I believe, in her erotica collection. This is about a dominatrix named Nora, and it is apparently a lot of BDSM. Like, she has a master, but she also has a couple other guys that she is servicing. So it sounds really interesting. This sounds super dirty. And I am really curious to start this. The next book by Tiffany Rice is going to be The Bourbon Thief. This is about a guy who owns a distillery, and he spends a night with a really pretty stranger, and he wakes up and there is a $1 million bottle of bourbon that is stolen, but the person who stole it said that it is rightfully hers, and there's this mystery involved in it, and I think it's also erotica, so it sounds interesting anyway. I'm curious to see how this one turns out. The next book I purchased is Cole. This is by Tajan. This is an author that is going to be at Book Bonanza, and I cannot wait to have this signed. It came in almost like new or brand new condition. And apparently this is about a mafia leader. It's about a girl who saw him a couple of times, like had a couple of close encounters with him, saw him at a restaurant, saw him in an elevator, and every time like their eyes lock, it's like an immediate connection. So it sounds interesting. It is mafia related, so I'm curious to see how this one turns out. And the next book and the last book that I purchased at Thrift Books is going to be Double Full. This is by Kendall Alexander. I have read this one. I gave it 3 stars, but I did enjoy the series enough that I want to continue on with this one. I am going to be seeing her at Book Bonanza as well. And tell me why anybody would do this to a book. This is actually signed by the author. I can see that it's signed by the author, and somebody just went and scribbled it out. Why would anybody do that? Anyway, this book is about Colton Michaels and Jace Montgomery. Colton is a football player at a major college. He is actually the quarterback, and then Jace is one of the cheerleaders. Jace is gay, and Colton is still in the closet, but he has this encounter where he comes up and hits on Jace, and they have this amazing 5-night experience where they're alone and they're together, and it's everything that Jace has wanted because he's always had a crush on Colton, but he was shocked that Colton wanted him as well, and they were super happy to be together. And then some really bad things happen with Colton's father and people getting in the way of their relationship, and it is a second chance romance. The first 50% of this was kind of like, what the heck am I reading? Oh, no. But the second half really did get better. it's not my favorite thing. It's not something that I would recommend as a favorite romance at all. But I still enjoyed it enough that I wanted the book. But I'm super, super frustrated that somebody would do that to it. The next book I picked up at Half Price Books. It is the only book that I picked up there. And that one is Follow Me Back. And this sounded really interesting to me. I've kind of seen some mixed reviews on it, so I'm a little bit nervous. But it is about a guy named Eric Thorne, and he sets out to troll Tessa Hart's Eric. I guess he is a famous actor or something, and he ends up having this unexpected friendship with her. But apparently there is some secrets that are coming out in real life, and something about how something turns deadly. I don't know. So I don't know if this is a romance. I don't know if it's thriller. I don't know if it's like half and half. I don't really know, but it sounds interesting. It kind of sounds like that new book that's out that I've got on my wish list to read about a bigger girl who ends up like coming up with this friendship with a guy. I don't know. Anyway, it sounds interesting. We'll see. The next book that I'm going to talk about is the book that I got in my monthly bookworm box, and that is The Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan. I've heard a lot of rave things about this book. I love Kennedy Ryan's writing, but she always makes me cry, just like Brittany C. Cherry. It's hard to read these books by her, but I'm super interested in this one. The blurb of this book is very vague, so I don't exactly know what it's about. I just know that it is a romance, and it's going to be, I think, kind of hate to love in a way, because their fathers are enemies, and the guy, I guess, is pretending to be somebody that he's not. I don't really know much about this one. I'm sorry. And the last set of books that I have to talk about are books that I purchased myself on Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and start with Jennifer L. Armentrout. This one is The Brightest Night, and I had no idea that this book came signed. So I pre-ordered it on Amazon and got it signed. So I'm super excited about this one. This is the third book. I think this is a Lux spinoff. This is the third book. I have all three. I still haven't finished all of the Lux series, so I'm waiting to finish those before I start this, but this is a spinoff to that. The next book that I purchased off of Amazon is Famine by Laura Thalassa. You all know this is one of my favorite books of the year. I adore this book, and so I had to purchase this one. I'm really, really hoping that somehow she will be signing at Book Bonanza, because I really want to meet her. Her and Fiona Cole are the two that I'm like crossing my fingers for. But I have all three of the books now. Cannot wait for the next one to come out. The next book that I got at Amazon is Wrecking Ball by P. D'Angelico. I've read this one. It is a sports romance. It is also a single father and nanny romance, and I love that trope so much. This was really good. Y'all wouldn't believe what happened. So I got this from Amazon, right? And it was on sale. It was like $10 or $11 compared to the $15.75 that it normally is. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get it while it's on sale. So I order it, and it's supposed to come, and then it's late. And then it's late by like 2 days, and then it gets here, and the person comes to my door, the Amazon, and I work for Amazon, so like this frustrates me to no end. This is not what they're supposed to do. But he comes over and drops an empty package that has not been sealed, is completely empty, absolutely nothing inside it, and literally puts one of my little garden little garden shovels on top of it, because he's afraid that it's going to blow away. So he puts one of my own garden shovels on top of this empty package and walks off with nothing in the damn package. So I had to call Amazon and explain what the heck happened, and they sent me a new one, and then that one ended up being 2 days late on top of it. So it took me like 11 days to get this dang book. I was really frustrated about that whole experience, but I finally got it. It was on sale, and so I'm really happy to have this copy. And like I said, I love nanny romances. The next book that I have to talk about off of Amazon is Happily Letter After by Vi Keelan and Penelope Ward. I pre-ordered this one quite a while ago, and I'm super excited to have this one. I'm going to be reading this very soon. It is about a girl who works for a newspaper, and this little girl, I guess, keeps writing into her and asking for like favors or something. And so she's been doing these favors on her own. And then all of a sudden she sees the girl and her father is single father, and he is gorgeous. And something happens between the father and this girl who works for the newspaper. I'm super excited to read this one. And the last book that I purchased off of Amazon is Rhapsodic. This is also by Laura Thalassa. This is supposed to be about a fae king and a siren. And I love Laura Thalassa's Four Horsemen series so much. She writes fantasy romance so well, and I cannot wait to jump into this one. Okay, so that is it for all of the books that I purchased myself. Let's get into this gigantic reveal book box. Like I said, I went ahead and contacted them and requested to have the 6-pack instead of the 4-pack a month. So I'm really nervous to see what is in here, but I am super excited about it. It did cost me $60, so it's $10 a book, plus the shipping was about $17. So all in all, it ends up being about $13 a book, which is still cheaper than buying them one at a time for the most part. So I'm going to give it a couple of months and see if it's worth my money, or, I might go down again. I don't know. We'll see. But I just wanted to go ahead and do this for myself for the next couple of months for a present to myself. Right, so I'm going to just stick this right here and see if maybe you can see it a little better here. Well, kind of not. Okay. So I don't have a clue what's in here, but let's go ahead and get started. It comes with its typical swag. There's Available Now by Mary B. Moore. Never heard of this. I don't really like getting swag that this is like this big. Like, I can't use it as a bookmark. There's nothing really I can do with it. I love these little bookmarks, though. I use these kind of things all the time. This is Dirty Player by Gwen McNamee. And then Piper Rain. It says Where Friends Become Family. So, a couple little swag deals. It's got this little coffee cozy thing. It says, I like my coffee and my Reveal books hot. So, that's cute. And then a little, this looks like it's a little magnet. It says, I run on coffee and sexy books. That's cute. Okay. That looks like that's all the swag that comes with it. So let's get into the books. The first one is My Bestie's Ex by Piper Rain. And this one comes signed. It is a little book plate that is signed for this one. It says, I can't borrow him. He's not a sweater or a skirt. He's not even her favorite dress. The lucky one she wears on first dates. The one she probably wore on her first date with him. In my defense, I didn't know who he was. To me, he was a cool, calm, confident stranger. He was perfection for the entire hour and a half train ride, while the concrete jungle turned into a rolling green landscape. To an outsider, we probably appear more friends than hopeful lovers, but my blush comes quickly and his dimple indented with every smile. We definitely shared a spark of what could be. Too bad I didn't know who he was before I fell for him, because he can't be mine. So it sounds like a little bit of a forbidden romance. I hope that this book doesn't switch between first and third person like it was doing in this blurb. Like, I just think that's weird. Like, literally every other thing, it goes from being in first person, then to third person, then to first, and then to third. That's just kind of weird to me. But hopefully the book's not like that. Oh, here's some more little goodies. Oh yeah, it smells kind of like winter green. Winter evergreen. That's what. So winter evergreen candle. A couple little candies. Okay. The next book is Falling for, is that Hayden? Hudson? Falling for Hudson. I can't read, apparently. So Falling for Hudson, and it's by Alexandria Bishop. This one is directly signed by the author. And it says, what would you do if you suddenly lost your parents? Becoming an orphan right before her senior year is not something Chloe had on her agenda. Neither was moving away from the only home she's ever known. Rather than dealing with her grief, she drowns her sorrows in a liquor-induced haze and relies heavily on Hudson, the only person who truly has her happiness in mind. With his band starting to take off, the only thing missing from Hudson's life is someone to share it with. Lost in an internal battle between being the friend Chloe needs and boyfriend she wants, his resolve soon weakens when they find themselves locked in their school auditorium for a long weekend. When these friends decide to finally become lovers, could a misunderstanding break their already unstable foundation, or will they persevere and be exactly what the other needs? Okay, first of all, this is about high school seniors. But those are definitely not high school seniors. Second of all, it seems a little unrealistic to me, them getting stuck in like a high school auditorium for an entire weekend. Like, do they mean like they were actually stuck there? Because I don't know about y'all, but if I was 17 and I didn't come home for like a night, my mom would be having the entire police force out looking for me. So I don't know how realistic this is sounding, but we'll see. So far, I'm not super impressed with the 6-pack. Next book is Kristen Rockaway. She's Faking It. That's kind of a funny name. Let's see here. It's also signed directly. And it says, you can't put a filter on reality. Bree Bozeman isn't exactly pursuing the life of her dreams. Then again, she isn't too sure what those dreams are. After dropping out of college, she's living a pretty chill life in the surf community at Pacific Beach, San Diego. If chill means delivering food as a grub getter, and if it means uneventful. But when Bree starts a new Instagram account at Bree by Teresa, one of her posts to get a signal boost from none other than the wildly popular self-help guru, Demi DePalma, owner of a lifestyle brand empire. Suddenly, Bree just might be the rising star in the world of Instagram influencing. Is this the direction her life has been lacking? It's not a career choice she's ever seriously considered, but maybe it's a sign from the universe. After all, Demi's the real deal, right? Everything is lining up for Bree. Life goals, career, and even a blossoming romance with the chiseled guy next door, surf star Trey Cantu. But things are about to go sideways fast, and even the perfect filter is not going to fix it. Instagram might be free, but when your life looks flawless on camera, what's the cost? I'm not going to lie, this does not sound good. It just doesn't sound like my thing. Like, I was just talking about how I don't even, like, go on social media, so I don't think I'm the target market for that book. Okay, well, the first 3 are so far kind of a letdown. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? The next book is by Sierra Hill, and it says Game Changer, book number 1. Her Love is a Game Changer. And it is signed directly by the author. Up until 2 years ago, I was living large, and my life's priorities were anchored to 3 things. My NBA stardom, money, and celebrity. I was also a colossal dick, until one night turned my world upside down and I suffered unspeakable loss. That event changed the man I was and made me a widowed single father. Now I'm a desperate parent trying to raise my special needs son and find him a trustworthy live-in nanny. Grad student Brooklyn Hayes may be the one. With her single-minded focus on caring for my son and finishing her master's degree, she's the perfect fit for our needs. Maybe too perfect, with her bright smile, nurturing kindness, and gentle touch. Caleb isn't the only one who's fallen for her. I don't know when or how it happened, but she changed the game for me, turning my losing streak into a winning second half. Okay, now this one sounds like my kind of book. exactly what I'm wanting. All right, the next one is A Really Bad Idea. This is by Janine Collette. And it says, everyone has a best friend. Mine just happens to be Dr. Christian Gallinger, the gorgeous green-eyed heart surgeon who wants to have a baby with me. Yes, you read that correctly. When my mother approached me on my 33rd birthday with a brochure for egg freezing, it was a glaring reminder that my biological clock is ticking towards its expiration date. I've always dreamed of being a mom and had a plan, one that was destroyed whenever I caught my professional hockey player husband in bed with another woman. Despite my broken heart, I still believe in love. I want the happily ever after, but I also want a child desperately and won't settle in order to make it happen. That's why when I decided to take my mother's advice, Christian came up with his own plan. Let's have a baby together. It's a bad idea, a really, really bad idea. And yet I can't stop thinking about how great it could be. There's just one condition. Before we have sex, oh yes, we're doing this the old-fashioned way. Christian is adamant we go on 3 dates. Sounds easy, but it's not. I thought sex would be the hard part, but the dates are only making me fall for the man I've known almost my entire life. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's my kind of book. Okay. Next one and last one is Nicole Dykes, and it says Regrets. Signed directly. And it says, healing after a tragedy is hard enough. Doing it when you're haunted by past betrayal and so many things left unsaid feels nearly hopeless. It is impossible to come back from so much anguish and all the regrets. Can you even truly mend your heart and move on? Or are Penelope and Link destined for a life of punishment and pain? They're about to find out whether the line between love and hate is clear, and if moving on after loss and the sting of deception is even possible. Okay, so the front cover tells me more than the back cover does, and it says 2 brothers, 1 girl, tragedy for all. That makes more sense than this whole backside made sense. So apparently this is a love triangle between 2 brothers. Sounds good to me. All right, so the last 3 books were a lot better than the first 3 books, in my opinion. It came with a little pin and then another little different type of pin. All right, that's it for me. Let me know what you've recently purchased in the comments below. We will talk there.